Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Relics, and today we are going to take a look at another one of my Advanced Wars matches. I had a little bit while back. I just wanted to, show you guys just because it was a fun battle. I will admit, I took my time with it. For days on end, I actually didn't play because I was stressed over some things in life and stressed over some things in games. And I was just like, oh my god, I cannot focus on this game right now. And so I do apologize to ModernMajorGeneral, my opponent, if you felt at any time that I was frustrating you because I was taking forever to do my turns. I do apologize. And again, these three plays, they're not just, they're not like they're ranked or anything, unless I let you guys know that it's a Global League match. But this is just all for fun, just a public game. And I just want to show you guys just because it's just another, for you guys who are casual players, who are still kind of learning the game, this is kind of my way of showing you guys that some things aren't as important as other things. You guys may think, for example, comm towers are everything. Comm towers are not everything in a game. They help. They for sure help. That's for sure. I have no. I'm not denying that. But as well as co-powers, do you use your regular co-power? Do you use your super? Things like that. It makes a huge difference in given circumstances. So, in any case, without further ado, let's get started on this match. As you guys can see on the screen, I have the map name Ball Twister MK3000. Yes, that's literally the name. Weird name. I don't know why, but you guys can see it's an interesting map. 3 bases. Obviously, I'm second player, so I start with the extra infantry. By the way, first video since the country changes. I hate they changed my pink Cosmos into these things. I literally look like I'm a pink black mage from Final Fantasy that was changed into pink. Black mage. Come on. I don't like it. Whoever's idea this was, I'm sorry. Terrible decision. There is not enough female representation. You guys should have went with some kind of female theme, even though it's pink. I totally disagree. Pink Cosmos, just FYI, is my favorite. I should say, my favorite country. As me and my brother put it, they looked like they had toothpaste heads. But yeah, they changed it to this ghost phantom looking guy. So I don't agree, but it is what it is. I'm not in control of it, but we move on. So yeah, I'm playing Rachel versus my opponent who's playing Kindle, and it was these are the typical matchups for me. Whenever my opponent chooses Kindle, I'm always usually Rachel. It's not like we chose them and we saw who each other chose. I just joined the public game. I chose first and I readied up. Yeah, I don't ever choose Kindle. I'll show you guys right now on the screen. These are my codes selected to this day. I don't use any of the codes on the far right side. I just don't. I don't care for them. I don't like them, and so therefore I will never pick them ever. For no reason I will ever pick them. So there you guys have it. So anyways, right back to the match. So I start off with the extra infantry as the second player. And I'm just going to quickly go through the first couple turns, just because, it's typical build order, So my opponent builds 2 infantry, ends his turn. I build 2 infantry, and my turn, and my extra infantry goes for the base, as you should. Of course, my opponent does exactly the same thing, as well as goes for the nearest city as well. So no differences here. So here, I go after the airport, sending 1 infantry down, and they will do a chain cap as well. My opponent, this is where everything got different, went straight forward and is going to go get these two. These 2 cities here. So very interesting that we changed our build order there. And then my turn. I do the exact same thing here, as well as begin my chain capture of the airport right here. There is a pipe seam blocking this airport from going straight north. However, I feel it is redundant. 1 movement down and then across. You cover so much ground here on your second turn with the battlecopter that there really is no reason to break this pipe open. You cover this, and then you can move straight up, and then all you suddenly cover this. It's a huge range. So blowing this pipe open just for easy access to go north doesn't seem very reasonable to me. So that's my opinion. My opponent moves out. Again, still not going after the airport, by the way. And then I move out as well. So you guys can see here, I'm in the mountain ranges. My opponent will be there on their next turn. This is actually my extra infantry, right? I went right here, captured here on the base, went straight up, ignored the city, and went straight up to this one. So that is the extra infantry as the second player. Keep that in mind. Me personally, that is why I like the second player. It's easier to get your captures out a little bit sooner, just because the extra infantry does provide that much extra movement. So that's my opinion. I'm not a map builder per se, so I don't really understand 100% how the first turn advantage infantry works. But if you guys do know, let me know in the comments section. In any case, so my opponent moves his turn. First vehicle is now built on their turn, as you guys can see. Tank right here. And this is the far north base of mine, for example, right here. This is their far south base. So this is an interesting build. By the way, they too ignored the city and went immediately for the mountain one, which is the right play. And so, interesting build. Not much of the tank can really do this turn, considering it was just built. I can just build my own tank and zone it out entirely. Everywhere it goes, I can go too. So that's another part of being second player that I like, is I get to react to my opponent rather than my opponent, reacting to me. Because second player will usually have a little bit more funds than the first player. Therefore, if my opponent, for example, this was a bigger map, if my opponent built one tank and couldn't afford a second one, but I would do double tanks and I would be able to zone them out easily. And then usually because that happens, they don't have enough money to do another double tank on the next turn either. In any case, so now we're going to slow it down a little bit. So obviously you guys can see capture here, continue my captures in the north, finally getting this one. There's nothing these guys can do easily, right? So there's no problem there. Capturing my airport, capturing the middle towards this comm tower as well. So very good by me so far, I think. And now it's my opponent's turn. Again, I built this tank down here. This tank will only move so far. If it wants to head up, that's a really bad idea. So it's going to move out probably to the right here, right? Or move up or move down. So there's no reason to go up here. So this tank right here can just move out all across here and be in range to defend all of my infantry, no problem. And that's how I like to play. I like to read and react, right? Alright, so my opponent moves out, continues their capture game as well. Finally going for the airport with their chain capture here. And they build an artillery in the back base. Very interesting. And move their infantry up one. So obviously they still have the forest defense, but I could still get the first strike on them. So I go for my middle captures now. Infantry still moving out. I do decide to go for the attack, doing a nice 7-6. That's decent. And of course, remember, I have no comm towers yet. No comm towers just yet. I move my guy into the mountains. Extra defense, even if they attack me. This right here is me preventing them from 100% capturing these cities uninterrupted. Because imagine this, right? If they go right for the city, that's 1, 2, capture on the third turn. But since I'm here, I could either interrupt, or if they attack me, this infantry all of a sudden becomes weakened, and it takes 4 or 5 turns to capture that next city. So that's why I put my infantry there in case they want to do that. I prolong their capture game compared to mine. Alright, so as you guys can see, this tank did move up. It is in range of my infantry, and that is it. This tank here that I built earlier is in range of that infantry as well. So I can easily defend it, as well as I could even attack their infantry, for free if they move around too much. So this is what happens. So obviously they're going to finish the captures. They immediately go for this comm tower as well. The only way for me to stop this is if I prolong my capture game here. So good move by them. The infantry did attack me. Got a nice lucky roll there. 8 and 7. So again, that was my whole goal though. And again, as Rachel, my infantry, that's a 7. I plop it on a city, easily recovers right back to 10. No problem. And again, don't misjudge repairs, right? Do not overthink it. Repairs are largely important in this game. And some people may think otherwise, right? Sacrifice your unit. Make this infantry weaker, right? Prolong the, make them stay there on the mountain. I beg to differ, especially as Rachel specifically, who recovers 3 HP. I would always try and repair your units if possible. Obviously circumstantial, but most of the time you do want to keep your units alive. If, for example, 2 tanks happen to attack my 1 tank, and I became a 1, get that tank out of there. In 1 turn, it becomes a 4. In 2 turns, it becomes a 7. In 3 turns, it becomes a 10 again. Instead of buying a new one, all of a sudden that 1 tank can come right back to the front lines after a few turns. Never underestimate a repair. So the infantry continues to attack. We're now 4-4 in the top. So again, I'm not going to get the city for a while. My whole job is to prevent this guy from being a huge threat. Same thing with this one over here in the bottom left. So we have the same idea. So to finish their turn, they build some units and then they attack into my city, capturing infantry here. This right here, huge mistake. This isn't a city, this is a silo platform that they're attacking on. Huge mistake. So these properties right here, these are probably the most contended for sure. They are definitely in range of both of our base locations, and I think this was a huge mistake, as you guys will see here. And continue my captures real quick. I have my airport, by the way, that my opponent doesn't even have the city nor the airport yet. So to me, I automatically have a huge capture lead in that regard, as I will finish my turn. However, because they went for the, they did not go for the airport, they do have the comm tower territory, something I do not have, as you guys can see over here. So that is something huge. So I will let them get the comm tower. I will prevent, or try to prevent them from getting this one as well by capturing it right now. And I use my infantry back, and I immediately attack it with my new tank. Boom, 8-6. Huge. I don't know if that was a misplay by them, if they didn't see the tank, or if they couldn't tell my movement, but easily taken down. Yes, it's not dead, but he can't really do anything. I've gotten my captures, right? The only thing it really interrupts is like this guy, but I have another tank. I can continue the tank chain as well from the city. 1 turn, and then 2 turns. Easy. Unlike them, they have to go across, and then, if they want to engage my tanks, it takes a little bit longer for them. And sure, the terrain's not interrupting their movement, but because I have a better capture lead right now, and I will with the extra properties, I can continue the tank chain, no problem. My opponent, I don't think they can. They will only have 14,000 on their next turn, and that is not enough to build from all their bases. So it's a little bit of advantage for me. Again, infantry attacks their infantry. I got the winning deal. I am 3 and they are 1, so that infantry is now dead. I don't have to kill it. I can retreat and keep my guy alive. They will obviously probably do the same. So as you guys can see, I did build 2 tanks, one in the bottom, one in the middle. There you go. So they only have 14,000. If they want to match my tanks, they have to base skill. And that probably would not be a good idea. They do get the comm tower, however. Again, I let you guys know that comm towers are not everything, but it is a huge help. The artillery is actually attacking the pipe, so that is something that I was like, oh, very interesting. They're going for the pipe seam to free it up. Okay. It might be very helpful for them in the later game. We'll see how that plays out. Again, I mentioned my opinions on it, but it's not to say it's not a good idea. I mean, it does save a couple turns, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? I would be right here. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a matter of 2 movement. To me, not a big deal. Right? Not a big deal. Tank moves. The 6 that I hit is now attacking my comm tower. Oof, does not kill my infantry. No problem. No problem. That's all I needed, right? I don't need the comm tower just yet. It's not a big deal. So they build a tank, infantry, and an artillery. They do indeed suicide the 1 infantry. That's a mistake. That 1 infantry could have been used as a wall later on, or you can even cover it. My guy didn't even take damage. So that's huge. But yeah, they build an artillery in the top. Okay. Decent counter. They have the property and territorial advantage, right? With the terrain here, it's pretty easily defendable, to be honest. So it's not bad. So move my infantry back, capturing the comm tower. Again, Rachel will recover him in a few turns, no problem. I even go for the corner city. I move this guy back as well to defend him. City guy attacks the mountain guy. Again, even if they attack back on my next turn, I'll recover, I'll be stronger, and that's easily, taken care of. This guy can't reach me. The only one would be this one. So I'm letting him have a little free hit right there, but that's okay. I got infantry coming in to back it up, right? Tank moves in, interrupt the capture. That's my, these 2 cities, like I said, are going to be contended for sure. Bottom left, attacking the city, make sure you can't capture it. It's now a 4. It'll take them 4 turns now to capture that city. That's the whole goal, right? And then again, I can move back 1 turn, get recovered to 10, come back in, kill the infantry. Easy. 1 infantry taking care of all of their captures in that corner. So, again, move the infantry up. Nice little chain there going. Tank moves in, fresh tank, destroys the 5. Sure, they have a new one too, but it literally can't do anything. So I send my other tank that was hit before up, and I get a free hit on one of the penguins there. There you go. I move in. Oof! That sucks. I didn't really do as much damage as I thought I would. That's okay. Continue my capture here. And go for a capture here. This guy, I only did that just to prevent them from going and immediately capturing. Obviously this one's dead, but as you guys can see, I'm going to lose this one here, so there's no real reason to let them have this one for free. Territory wise, this is closer to my base, so it will be easier to recover. So I build another tank, build 2 infantry, saving up a little bit of money. My opponent now is on day 9, and you guys can see the values on the top right. 19 units to my 23, and of course value is a little bit off as well. Obviously, huge advantage me having killed a tank, and they haven't killed mine. Very huge, right? Take that 7,000 back, all of a sudden they have 45 to my 47k. Big difference. So losing that tank early definitely will hurt them. And of course, they're using this artillery, which hasn't done anything, to blow up a pipe seam, which will take at least 1 more turn to do. So that's another thing they need to keep in mind. They go for the interrupt, obviously. Again, instead of capturing, they attacked my infantry. That only benefits me. I could easily just kill the infantry anyways, and this guy can't reach me, and then I can still run away. Easy. Artillery moves in. Again, very defendable position with a mountain. If there's forests, and there's a couple infantry that I can't just walk in and kill. Kills my 3 infantry. So again, they suicided the 1 guy for nothing. Just imagine if this guy became a 9, right? At any given point. Regroup it into a 10. All of a sudden it's that much stronger. 3 now retreats onto the city. So there you go. I have the advantage there. And as well as the extra city in the corner. They did get the city in the middle. They're going for the airport on the left. Using the artillery, again, doesn't blow it down. It's now 11 health, so they will get it on the next turn. Tank moves in, interrupts the capture again in the middle. Again, same story. This time, however, they do have a tank chain. albeit not in range actually. Now that I think about it, I thought they were going to move over here. So again, I get another free hit on another tank probably. Oof, that hurts right there. You guys see that? 10 attacking my 9 on a road. I'll pull up this guy for you real quick. Look at this. Look at that. I get it. A little bit of residual extra damage from the previous attack, where my guy became the 9 and their infantry became the 2. Again, I thought when I calculated they should have became a 1. I don't know if it was exact. I don't remember, but that extra damage apparently was huge for them, and my guy died. You know, losing infantry like this to huge luck rolls really sucks. I'm not gonna lie, it really sucks. So, lucky hit for sure. Because like I said, even if my guy becomes a 9, I can plop him on this city, and in a couple turns he'll be right back into the action. Hell, he could even regroup with something. Like this guy, for example. There's low 1 infantry, preventing them from getting the capture on the city just because he's there. Alright. So I killed off the infantry in the bottom left corner. Easy. Move my guy back, move my infantry forward, move this guy away as well. Tank moves back, gets the first hit on the tank. Nice. Use my other tank. Boom. Doesn't kill it though. So in 2 hits I didn't kill it. That's very unfortunate. That right there, I think that's bad luck right there. I think I should have been able to kill it with a little bit of luck, but if you guys know me, if you guys saw my signature at the very beginning of the video when I show my code usage, I have horrible RNG. I have the worst RNG, and this is just another example. So again, moving my tanks in a way that you can attack one of the tanks, but you also gotta sacrifice it in the end, because if you attack any of these tanks, you know, these 2, the other one will back it up. If you attack one of these 2, the other one will back it up. If not even this guy, no problem. Easy backups right there. Plus I have the 7 upstairs too. So again, getting first strike on the infantry, so now I got 2 weakened penguins up top. In fact, I even killed that one. This one can't do anything to any of the 3. So easily taking care of the north. No problem. Move this tank up here. The only one that can kill it would be this guy, but he can't reach. So very good positioning right there. And again, I move my infantry up. I build the first battlecopter of the game at turn 9, day 9. So nice. I even go for this attack here. I figure, oh hey, you know, my 2 tanks didn't kill it. I think they should have. I have a 5 infantry. I would think that it would be able to, but unfortunately it was not capable of doing so. 2 to 6%. 2 to 6%. Probably should have been enough to kill it, but it ended up not killing it. In fact, I even took damage. That sucks. This guy was going to die anyways, but you know, had I just left him on the city, you know, I could draw this guy in, he'd be on the forest, and I could use my infantry to attack on the forest or even the city. You never know. But now he's just gonna straight up die. Alright, my opponent's turn now on day 10. Again, the values, huge difference here. I have a 6 unit advantage as well as a, what is that, 18k advantage. Again, those tanks taking so many damages makes a huge difference. One shots my infantry. Again, they have a comm tower. They're able to do stuff like that. Artillery moves onto the comm tower. Very interesting. Again, maybe overextending a little bit. Look how many infantry I have compared to them. A little overextending, for sure. And again, moves off the city and moves onto the road to attack my guy. Interesting. Tank moves all the way back. New tank goes onto the city. I cannot attack into that tank. As Kindle, they have a huge attack boost, especially with the extra comm tower. Definitely wouldn't want to do that. Here, I'll even show you guys what would happen if I attacked into them. In fact, I would be on a road. I would do 3 to 4 damage, and even if I did 4 damage, they would still do 4 to 5 damage back. They would have the winning engagement in that regard. Even if I have to use multiple tanks. Look, they still have another tank coming. They have another one over here as well. So they have 2. So if I use 3 tanks just to kill 1, it is not worth it. So good positioning for sure to have that tank on that city. And again, we have backup. Backup coming. Blows open the pipe seam. Will capture the airport. Again, by the way, they haven't even captured this city right here. They haven't even captured this city right here. That's pretty crazy. But they do have the capture lead as of this turn. And I don't have any captures going right now. So they have this city, right? I don't have that one. They have this comm tower. I don't have my comm tower. And they have this city. I don't have that city. So I'm gaining advantage in the units and value, but I'm not getting the captures now. It's a little bit of balance, right? Yeah, give and take. But I do get a little bit of territory advantage in the north. They're only sending infantry, just like I did. But I gotta capture that city, right? And that's what they're trying to prevent. Not to mention, it's really close to the base. One vehicle, even if it's a tank, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's in range. I don't think a recon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, a recon can't reach, but the vehicles with treads, they can. So easily defendable. So once you get the capture, it's easy to defend. It's getting it back that is hard. So they do a little retreat. Saying that I built the battlecopter, they obviously need to build an anti-air, which they do. Oddly enough, though, they built it in the back. So again, they're keeping their tanks reinforced right here. But of course, I'm not going to attack into those tanks. There's just no way. There's too close to their base to reinforce, and I need to make sure my guys are back to full health as well. So what do? I move my battlecopter out, like I said. Okay, so here, right here, huge mistake. I don't no clue why I did that. As soon as I did it, I looked at their power and I'm like, oh crap, that's a free hit. That's a free hit. I didn't need to go on the headquarters. I can move right here. I can move right here. It's the same exact positioning. It's the same exact positioning. There's nothing threatening right here, right? There's no reason for my battlecopter to have gone on the HQ. In fact, it's better if I went right here onto this plane tile, because now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I move exactly where this tank is. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. Yeah, you guys will see. Infantry moves in. Obviously, I can't do anything else, so I do kill the infantry. And I'm going to use the 8 to start capturing. They cannot kill me in one shot, but again, they use their power, they kill the infantry. So I move my 5 in front. This guy cannot reach. He will take damage, but at least guess that this guy will be blocking, and I can continue the capture. Infantry moves in. Boom. Kills the penguin. Infantry moves in. They're on a road. Boom. Kills the penguin. Now I can use my tanks that will not attack into their tanks to start attacking the artillery. I don't know why I used the 7. Completely honest, I have no clue why I did that. Right? No clue why I did that. If I used the 8, wouldn't have killed it, right? Compared to a 7. But there was still, you know, there's no chance. Based on these percentages, there's no chance, right? 51%, and I did 5 damage. There's just no chance that this thing would have died. So I think I actually rolled low on the 10 then. If I actually think about that. Yeah, so as you guys can see, this is a fresh artillery. Never saw combat, right? 49 to 55% damage. And look what number it became, a 6. So I did literally the lowest damage possible in this engagement. This should have been a kill. Which is probably why I used the 7, because I knew it couldn't kill. Probably. Right? Because then here comes the 7, brings it down to 1. Had the 10 done a little bit extra damage, I probably used the 8 and kill it. But because that didn't happen, in fact, I don't even know why I used the 10 to kill an infantry like that. That was pretty stupid. This turn I definitely was not thinking it through. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I was a little stressed out in time in life, so I was trying to take my time. But I like to play fast, and I probably did that really fast without even thinking about it. So that sucks. My tanks move back. If they want to attack, they have to come to me. But yeah, there's no reason to stay there and engage. I do build some units. I save up 7,600 funds. I build another battlecopter and infantry, because I know the power is coming, right? There's a capture here. There's a capture here that they cannot prevent. And so, obviously, there's not too much. Obviously, the Battlecopter being on the HQ sucks. But there's not too much they can do with their power. But, again, their power is really good for interrupting captures, and that is most likely what they're probably going to do. I totally forgot to move my infantry in the bottom left corner, by the way. See? Like I said, I was not thinking this turn through. But, in a matter of speaking, I still do the job that I wanted it to do, and that is prevent that capture. They instead killed my guy. They could have easily just started capturing, because if I try to attack them, for example, let's just show you guys. If they use their power and I tried to attack them, I would do 1 damage and they would destroy my guy, no problem. And even if I were to use this tank, for example, they can still capture on the next turn. The city is theirs. I don't have the infantry in position to capture. They get the city. But now because they killed my infantry, it's going to take them another 2 turns, and my tank is right here if I want to use it to interrupt. Here comes the power now. And like I said, my Battlecopter got struck. And again, the only way to recover this Battlecopter is to send it back onto the airport. So huge mistake by me. Huge mistake. But again, let me show you guys. My value, 71,000. Let's just round it to 72k. Went down to 65. Not bad, to be honest. Or for me, right? I didn't lose too much. Sure, my Battlecopter was a huge detriment, but I didn't lose too much. So I would, in my opinion, say that's a bad power. Artillery retreats. Infantry kills my 5, just like I thought. Tank moves in. Would have one-shotted my 8 regardless of them using their power or not. It just makes it so that this tank is basically invincible for a turn from my tanks. All their vehicles move up. This artillery is finally going to start coming into play. Not just yet though. And they build their first Battlecopter as well. They're going for the second comm tower now. Oof, my infantry hurt. Alright, so now it is my turn on day 11. As you guys can see, the values have now switched for sure in their favor. But again, it is my turn. I still have the unit count as well. And by the end of my turn, I will have a higher value. Even if I didn't even destroy a single unit, I would have a 10k value over them. So, still in my favor for sure. But as you guys can see, this comm tower is being captured. The only units that are in range are tanks and this one infantry. This guy too, but I don't think he would be able to do damage at a 4. So, if I want to stop that capture, I gotta interrupt it and sacrifice that unit. This guy moves in. Again, they build a tank. I don't have a tank to back that up right now, right? And so this guy is either going to go for the capture dude, or the tank's just going to kill that guy as well. I finish off the artillery. Well worth the infantry attacking there. I start capturing their comm tower. I move my tank back, so now he can defend the city, but that's not the one I need to defend, unfortunately. Very unfortunate. This guy right here should have moved back up over here, and I use infantry to block, because now this tank can get a free shot on my 7 and kill him. This guy's going to interrupt the capture here as well, and I'm not going to end up getting the city. So huge mistake. I sacrificed a lot here just to defend, or just to attack the comm tower. Bad move. Again and again. 7 Battlecopter. As the Battlecopter gets lower in HP, its offensive power decreases dramatically. So just the fact that it hasn't even seen combat and it got hit by a power really sucks. I do use the tank though to interrupt the bottom left corner. Again, that's one city that they will not get, but I have it in my corner. So that's huge for me. Sure, it's wasting a vehicle versus an infantry, but hey, that adds up in price eventually. Alright, so I do use the 4. I do interrupt it, luckily, but again, that's only for a turn. I am not even in position to be able to back that up and prevent them from getting that capture on my next turn. So it's looking a little bad for me. But again, I don't base skip. 2 infantry, Battlecopter, tank. There's a lot of vehicles in this middle section here that could easily front shift up or down. So I have to build the tank here to defend this area. But if they move up, all of a sudden, look, 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks, 5 include the top one, an anti-air, an artillery, versus 1 tank, a 7 battlecopter, 2 tanks if this one, because this one's going to recover. It's not looking so good. Infantry moves, attacks my guy, like I thought. Now I have a 2 infantry that needs to capture 7. It's not going to work out. Battlecopter moves straight down, as you guys can see. Sure, good job. You move straight down. You busted the pipe seam open. You move straight down. What will that accomplish? We'll see. Does it accomplish anything? Tank moves in. Boom, kills me. Artillery moves down for a defendable position, and it will prevent me from getting the city forever. 10 kills my 2. He moves so weird. He attacks here, builds, moves back. He's like, it's very interesting. Tank moves in on a row, by the way, and hits my comm tower. Anti-air moves in, kills the infantry. Why didn't they use the infantry, the anti-air first? I have no idea, to be honest. Would have did 8 damage to me and no retaliation, compared to the tank, in which it did not kill me, and I did a slight bit more retaliation damage. That extra retaliation damage does add up a little bit, because, for example, it's on a road now. I could easily kill it with 2 tanks, like even the 7 battlecopter, compared to the anti-air, who would have taken like practically 0 damage. Very odd indeed. But they did stop the capture, and that's what really mattered. So I lost a lot of guys there, for sure. But it's not over. It's not over. It's my turn now. I'm second player. I get to do the counterattack now. Capture a city. I've now taken the capture lead, having captured this city now. I took this one back. Now this one is still neutral, and I have this one. Works in my favor. I attack the infantry, again killing him, no problem. Tank hitting the anti-air. But I'm on a road next to a city. It's a 1-shot. Tank kills off the infantry. I have one coming in as well. I'm going to go try and nab that thing. We'll see how that works out. 7-7 engagement. They have the extra comm tower. They're on better defensive terrain. I try to finish them off. Can't do it. Same result. Not thinking straight through on that part. Tank moves in there. The helicopter is going to probably not get too close. This guy is going to defend against this battlecopter here, and I have another one coming in as the battlecopter chain. Me personally, I like the battlecopter defense against battlecopters. Not so much the anti-airs. Obviously, the anti-air is the best defense, right? But so long as they don't have their own anti-air, I don't mind having the battlecopter versus battlecopter engagements only. So as long as I take care of the anti-airs, it's all good. So that's how I play. So again, battlecopter chain to deal with their battlecopters. So their anti-air is weak, but I sacrificed a tank to do it, and I didn't even kill it. That's very unfortunate. I should have just moved back a little bit more. Battlecopter is now in really good position to defend city. He can even attack my battlecopter if he wants to. Boom! 1 shot. 1 shot. I mean, that's true 1 shot, right? Yeah, look at that. True 1 shot. Heck, even if I was a 10, like, look at that. If I took any kind of retaliation damage from a previous infantry engagement, I would have still probably died as a 10. Insane how strong Kindle is. And by the way, second comm tower. They now have 2 comm towers and I don't have 1. So not looking so good. I'm losing a few guys here and there. Not good. They have 2 comm towers. They're only down by 1 capture, which is the neutral property remaining here, and then in the corner, right? There's 3 left, and they're only down by 1. And they're killing out. Now this artillery, no idea. No idea where this guy's going. Honestly, should have just left it like right here and put his infantry in the range. I don't know why it's going backwards. Huge mistake, I would say. Huge mistake to move back, because then it's just going to move forward on the next turn, right? So, don't know what's going on there. My tank moves back. Obviously, I cannot stay there with the battlecopter. Get a nice free kill there. So the properties are still going to remain the same. Again, I don't use my 1 my one tank to attack their tank because there's no points. Not to mention they're getting closer to their power. It would be a huge detriment. I do put my infantry there though, so they have to kill him if they want to try and capture. So they'll put their tanks out of position to do so. So I just form basically a wall and try to defend my position while I have a quote-unquote slight lead. As you guys can see at the end of my turn, all of a sudden, same unit count and the unit values are relatively even. So the last couple turns I definitely blundered and I've lost the lead for sure at this point. But on the flip side, I haven't used my powers yet. Now it's going to be huge. So again, artillery, it moved back, now it moves forward. Had he just put it right here, look, this artillery could just move in right here. There's nothing I can do. Look at all the units there, right? Easily could have been defended against. But at the same time, I have my super coming. So maybe they were already planning that. Again, they used 2 tanks to to kill the infantry to start the capture. I could just move this guy up and start capturing, or interrupting if I want to. Not worth it, in my opinion. Ouchie. Those tanks are just charging in, by the way. Again, this guy's no professional, but he also is no casual player. He clearly knows how Rachel works. The super would target here. My super would target here. I think the other missile would target like right here as well. So you guys can clearly see this person is no, casual player. They do know how Rachel's missiles work, and therefore, what would I really get out of the value of it, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, is it worth it to use my missiles? I mean, I think in fact 2 missiles would have actually hit here, now that I think about it. So is it really worth hitting only infantry for my missiles? Nah, I use a lucky last. This is the second time in my life on Advanced Wars by Web that I've ever used Lucky Last. I don't like Lucky Last. I think it's a terrible power, and it's just not worth it. But I think it's worth it in this situation, because at this point I think to myself, I lost both comm towers. They have the lead in every way. I have to do something. I literally have to pull something, out of my magical hat and just somehow change this game around. So I use my lucky last. Battlecopter moves in, hits the tank. I take no damage. Use the infantry and I kill the tank. Let's take a look. How lucky did I get? I'd say that's really lucky. I'd say that is really lucky. Very interesting. Boom. All of a sudden, it's freed up. 9-4. That's enough to kill him. Boom. Now, use my tank to attack the tank. Boom. Use the battlecopter. Decent damage. It doesn't matter that it's going to kill it. My whole goal is to kill this guy, the tank that's threatening my other tanks and infantry. Anti-air I can easily kill on another turn, no problem. Medium tank moves in as well. Look, medium tank now covers the battlecopter, so even if he uses his anti-air, I can easily kill it, and that'll take care of that. Battlecopter moves in, nice little 7 damage there. Excellent. In fact, I kind of want to calculate that real quick. How much luck am I getting here? How much luck am I getting here? Maximum damage. Maximum luck damage. Is that lucky or what? Is that lucky or what? Kills the tank. Tank moves in. I don't know why I moved this one first. I should have used this one on the city. That was a interesting play by me. And yeah. Again, going for the capture. Pretty stupid. I know. I don't know why I'm doing that. Again. I don't know why I did this too. I moved it on top instead of moving on to the city. Probably because the power, I guess. I guess that's the reason actually. But again, I'm on a road. Don't know if that was the smartest play. Battlecopter stays in range of everybody though, so their battlecopter in the bottom left can't do anything. I entered up the infantry again, by the way, so again, this guy is not able to capture those cities. And I built an anti-air of my own. In fact, I built 2, because there's 2 battlecopters splitting off. So, all of a sudden, that lucky last put the game right back in my favor for sure. And there's no doubt that I am back in the lead. They use their power again. I went from 117 to 109, so 8k damage through their power, in which it hit 2 anti-airs that I just built. I'm just going to recover 100% HP anyways. It's not a big deal, right? Not a big deal at all. They're going for the middle city. Didn't kill my tank. Used their 4. Did kill it though. That really sucks because, I mean, what is that? What is that percentage right there? 2 to 5%. Literally the same thing I had earlier in the game, and I didn't kill it. And mine was a 5. And they killed me. Thank you, game. Thank you. Use the 9 to kill this battlecopter, the 10. Very good. It's definitely worth the price for sure. However, this one can now interrupt this infantry in the back, and that's, you know, that's huge. That's still alive. By the way, city city battlecopter versus my battlecopter. I let that happen for free. Again, another misplay for sure. I should put the tank there. Should put the tank there. Even if it got hit by the power, it wouldn't have died to another tank or a battlecopter. Huge misplays. Huge misplays by me. No doubt. So even though that power got me back into the game, I missed playing a lot of moments, and that's costing me a lot of time. So I gotta kill the anti-airs. I have to kill the anti-airs. I need my battlecopter to stay alive. Finally got hit on the artillery as well. I used my lucky last a second time. A second time. Because again, I'm still down, and I need to pull myself back out of this hole I've dug. Infantry moves in, kills the artillery. Anti moves in the bottom, kills the infantry. Battlecopter moves in. Hits, did not kill the battlecopter. I used my infantry, does kill it. What does that mean? I can now hit the anti-air. Do a lot of damage, but not as much as I thought I would. Bottom infantry in the city, attacking on the mountain. Battlecopter is dead. Again, I must have saw that coming. If they used their battlecopter to kill mine, I would kill theirs. We would both lose 9,000, but I still have an anti-air alive, so that kind of works in my favor. I probably did that on purpose. Interrupts the capture. Oof, that hurts, but they are using their power, and they have 2 comm towers on a city. In fact, I kind of want to look at that. That was actually one that I didn't look at during the game that I wanted to. So here's the result of a 10-10. I did do 5 damage, so I did my maximum, and they did their maximum. There you go. So it's technically the percentages are as followed. Had I done less, it would have been a huge loss for me, that's for sure. Tank moves in, hits their tank. Didn't really do too much extra damage. Right here, didn't work out for me even with my lucky last. Battlecopter moves down, does nice 4 damage to that tank. Beautiful. And I use my infantry to attack the tank. Beautiful damage. Again, this infantry is going to go for the capture. So instead of using the battlecopter to interrupt, I used it to hit the tank. Looking back on this, I think I would have actually attacked the infantry instead. But it's alright. Because I have nothing to back up the guy. Only this one if he recovers. So I don't know if that was the right play for me. But the lucky last did bring me back into the game. Look at the values now. I'm only 2 units ahead, but huge difference in value. This medium tank, uncontested. Uncontested. Can't do anything about it. There's no battlecopters. There's one now. There's no medium tanks of their own. The artillery died. Huge for me. We're going for the capture in the top right. They build their own medium tank in the north, and the battlecopter is reinforcing with the anti-air too. So not much else. They even regrouped this tank, by the way, too. I have to interrupt this capture. I gotta stop them. By the way, lucky engagement right there. 6-6. I don't know how that happened, to be honest. Like, I mean, look at this. 4 damage is my maximum. It's pretty impressive considering they're on a city with 2 comm towers. Pretty impressive, if I do say so myself. But unfortunately, I can't really prevent them from getting the capture. If they capture, they'll bring it down to a 4. If I attack, there's still a chance they will survive as a 4 and capture the city. So we'll see how that plays out. Medium tank is not in range yet. If they want to use the Battlecopter, they have to kill my infantry and move on to the mountain. In which case, I have an anti-air to back it up anyways. So, not a big deal. Move my tanks back to recover. Still pushing down here, staying out of artillery range. I'm trying to force the Battlecopter to go south. That's what my plan is down there right now. And I'm trying to get this city as well as the comm tower. I'm threatening both comm towers at the exact same time. I'm making my opponent choose between defending this area or this area. I have a huge advantage with the extra units, right? Sure, I have a lot of infantry, but I'm making them choose. I'm forcing them to play in a way they don't want to play. I have to make them choose which direction they want to send the Battlecopter. How are you going to deal with the medium? Obviously, the medium tank has to be the one to deal with it. But what are you going to do with the Battlecopter? What are you going to do with the artillery? What are you going to do with your tanks recovering? Right? I'm making them make hard decisions now. Battlecopter does move south. Boom. Does use the infantry to hit, and then the tank hits the anti-air. So that kind of sucked, for sure. And they're going to prevent their capture, no problem. They one-shot my guy in the bottom, but again, it's done its job. This guy's going to come in 2 turns. I'll be on the city. In 2 turns, they'll start capturing, and I'll interrupt again. Not a big difference. They use their power midway through their turn. I went from 90k to 79, so 11k damage. Not bad. Not too bad. But again, that definitely prevents me from interrupting the capture in the top right. There's nothing I can do to stop them now. That really sucks. They prevented both captures on the comm towers successfully. And they moved their tanks in closer as well. So again, at the end of their turn, sure, they're, actually, at the end of their turn, they're actually down in unit value and unit count. There you go. And because I recovered my my units from their power, my value just jumped up from 80 or from 70, what was it, 79 to 88. There you go. So as I showed you guys, this guy could not interrupt successfully. I just realized you guys can't even see the captures. It is a 4. He will get it on their turn. There's nothing I could have done about it. Tank moves in, hits, Battlecopter hits, kills. Alright, I'm going to stay away from that medium tank. He can't come this way, and he can't go around the mountain, so I'm safe. Going for the capture now. Anti-air doing a little bit of damage. Did 3 damage. 3 HP anti-air for 3 damage. Not bad. Just enough so my Battlecopter could do a lot of damage to it. Hit the artillery as well. Moving in. Look how many vehicles they have left compared to mine. I have a huge territorial advantage now in the middle compared to them. And I continue my Battlecopters, and I built 3 infantry this turn. Because of the repairs, I lost a little bit of money. But that's no problem. You guys can see the difference in the value, and that's what really matters to me. So, interrupts of capture in the bottom, no problem. Knew that was coming. Attacks my tank on the city. Very interesting. Medium tank. Then uses the medium tank to kill it. Misplay. Should have used the medium tank first. Stops the comm tower, kills my anti-air. Artillery moves back, builds another Battlecopter, tank, and 2 infantry. Artillery or anti-air goes on to the city. Tank moves up. This tank now threatens this entire corner. Even my tank that's recovering cannot stand up to it at this moment. Suicides their Battlecopter, by the way. That was a misplay. Should use that Battlecopter. Heck, this Battlecopter could go up. Maybe even damage the tank. Maybe do 1 damage. They have 2 comm towers still. Right? They still have 2 comm towers. Heck, even try to attack the medium tank probably would have been better. Right? So they'd be on nothing, right? 6 to 7 damage. My medium tank probably would have taken a little bit of retaliation damage at this point. So, Could have brought me down to a 9. Instead, suicides. Very odd. Capture the middle city. I now even the playing field as far as captures. And I kill the infantry in the top right, but they did get the city. Medium tank now hits their medium tank for free. Boom! Misplay. Huge misplay. And now my battlecruisers move in. Tank moves in, killing off their tanks. All of a sudden, I pull back and I defend my area pretty successfully, I do say so myself. Again, my battlecopter attacks this tank, bringing it down to enough HP that I won't take too much damage, and I kill it. There is no tanks here to retaliate, only this one, but it can't reach mine. I use this tank to suicide against this one, and look at what I got. I got my super. Boom. Covering fire activates, bringing them from 54,000 funds to a 41. 13k difference. I hit here and here. So that was a 6 and a 5 medium tank. All of a sudden it's down to a 2. No contention. Can't even fight my medium tank still. Not even with the units they have. Perfect covering fire. I used the lucky lasses earlier. Got me right back into the game for sure. Covering fire takes care of the rest. You guys can see the difference is huge now. And I haven't even built units yet. There you go. 77 to 41. 24 unit count to their 17. But they're not going to quit yet. They're not going to quit yet. Use their power. I'm a 7. If I want to interrupt, I will take retaliation damage. But they will eventually probably get that city at this rate. However, they move this infantry to capture here. Again, the only way to interrupt that is if I suicide my tank, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do that either. Although I do have my battlecopter. So again, moving my battlecopter here, all of a sudden I can kill this guy if I want. Could work. Kills my battlecopter, but loses the anti-air. So again, position his units where I can literally attack them and kill them. All just so you can, interrupt captures that weren't even going to succeed, to be honest. So anti-air is now going to die. This right here was unfortunate. I was like, what? Really? What? How did this guy attack a 2, not take any damage, but this guy didn't kill him? I was not happy about that at all. Medium tank is dead. I go for the comm tower. Tank goes around and attacks the infantry. This tank attacks the 10. They don't have their power on their next turn, so I don't know why I didn't attack here. Probably just to stay out of range of the battlecopter, I suppose. I guess that's actually the play, because there's no battlecopter or anti-air in range to defend. So actually it was smart. Kill the anti-air. This battlecopter moves up because I need to defend against these battlecopters. Again, I don't like to build as many anti-air. I interrupt the capture in the bottom left, taking a huge hit. But now I'm forcing them again. They rate captured 10, and now they're a 7. If they capture, they'll get in 2 turns. Or they can kill my guy and take 3 turns. Kind of big question mark, right? So I'll use the tank in the top right. Now they're using a tank while they're losing to engage my infantry in the top right to defend their city. Huge play. By the way, how many battlecopters did they really send through this pipe seam? Through this whole match, right? Once? Twice? Twice probably maximum? They didn't build as many battlecopters as I did. Wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it. I'll tell you guys right now. So he did end up trying to capture the city instead of attacking and killing my guy. So they end up gaining the city in the bottom left corner, and there's nothing I can do about it, so I retreat. I retrieve my other units as well. Again, medium tank. It's a 6, but as Rachel, it'll be a 9 on my next turn. Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, there's not much I can do this turn, so I just kind of pull back. Build more infantry, build more battlecopters. They interrupt the capture in the top right. My infantry live though. It has 6 captures left on it. Don't know if I'm going to get it though. They have another medium tank coming in, hence the reason I need to recover mine. And they build more units. So not much engagement in these past 2 days. My tank gets a nice hit on theirs. I continue the captures, now down to 5, so that takes 5 turns to capture that thing. Not likely to happen. I have infantry now going to the bottom left corner to try and capture theirs, as well as a battlecopter to reinforce as well. I am moving more of my units to the north instead of staying in the south. The south is just way too close to their 2 bases that I can't reinforce it strong enough with 1 base here and my battlecopter chain, so I'm trying to move more of my units north. I even built an artillery here. I want to try and get this area locked down if I can. So medium tank moves in. Moved all the way through, by the way. And they're just trying to push forward now. They're trying to push forward. They know this artillery is pretty strong and will do a lot of damage to me. Except they neglected the bottom left corner a lot, and so I can go in and start capturing if I want to, which I do. Battlecopter moves in, infantry goes, and all of a sudden I got infantry in position to capture on the next turn. Medium tank gets another free hit on their medium tank. I'm on a silo platform, they're on a forest. Another huge mistake, a misplay by them. And this time I do have a comm tower. And I get a lot of juicy hits. A lot of juicy hits this turn. Look at this. And my infantry walls, there's nothing here that can move up and attack them right now. Though I move my artillery forward as much as I can because nothing can hit it. If he wants to use this tank, you can't even hit it, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, my artillery is perfectly safe. Look at that. Hey, look at this. Anti-air can't even reach my battlecopter. Totally out of position with the forest in the way. I just need to pull back. Look, this is my strong side. Or, this is my weak side, sorry. But these properties, these are my properties. These are my properties. Don't overextend too much here. You know, this is close to my base, and I have the battlecopter chain. I don't need to build infantry over here. I can just keep building vehicles. Heck, I could build a Neo tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom, perfectly defends. But they do resign on this turn, day 23. And you guys can see the values. I'm 50,000 above them with 8 units above on their turn, by the way. And they just killed one of my infantries with their artillery. Huge advantage. Them letting me get the medium tank strikes twice in this match was huge. Huge misplays by them for sure. I honestly, without the lucky lass, in fact, if I think both of the lucky lasses came into play by a lot too. Without those, I would not have won this match for sure. I mean, they had 2 comm towers. 2 comm towers. That hurts. And in my opinion, I think they misplayed using their power as well. Would their super have helped any bit? No, I don't think so. I think it was just more of a matter of they had to prevent me from getting the first strikes on those medium tanks. That's just the bottom line. They did a huge comeback. Considering my start, where I damaged their tanks and destroyed them, they did do a huge comeback and made it close for sure. And I don't deny that. But they definitely misplayed, and I got the edge in the end. Again, as I mentioned before, comm towers aren't everything. They help a lot, but they aren't everything. And I think my opponent focuses too much on defending the comm towers that they sacrificed a lot. Capture game 2. Gotta send your infantry to the right areas, and me sending mine to the corners. You know, 1 infantry at a time defended the bottom left, prevented them from getting that city for the longest time. It's huge. It's huge. And you know, in the end, I was stressed out about it too, but it was a fun map. It never felt like it was stally or it was like wall to wall. Each of us had our moments of pushing and pulling back, and I think that in the end, I think there's just too much they did wrong. The pipe seam, for example, they didn't have to burst that open, and it ended up costing them for sure. I mean, that's an artillery that's 6,000 that is literally spending 3 turns on the backside breaking open that pipe. It took 3 turns to break it open. It takes a turn to build it, and it takes a turn to move it. It takes 2 turns more to get into position. So that's 7 to 8 turns that they weren't able to use the artillery really. So huge on me that I didn't need to break my pipe seam open. And I think that's, you know, there's benefits to it, but I just don't see the worth. If anything, maybe a bomber and one-shot it in 1 turn. Maybe, I don't know. I just don't think it was worth to break it open. But my opponent did that, and I think in the end it cost them. But, you know, misplays here and there by both of us, but it was a really fun game. Thank you, ModernMajorGeneral, for the game. It was a lot of fun. But, yeah, in the end, once again, I beat a Kindle with Rachel. I tend to do that quite often. It's very rare I would actually lose to a Kindle with Rachel, but I'm not saying it can't happen, but pretty good counter considering the repair rates, right? Again, repairs matter. It's huge, especially as Rachel. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. Again, I don't do it just for fame or glory and anything like that, or to rub in my opponent's face. I do it as more of a teaching lesson as well. Did I play this perfectly? No, of course I didn't. But it's a learning thing for me to review it as well. And having reviewed it, I just realized how lucky I got in this game as well. So, lucky me for once, even though some bad RNG elsewhere as well. But it was a really fun match. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed, hit the like button. Comment down below what you guys thought. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And stay tuned for any other Advanced Wars content I put out. As of this moment, I do think I'm going to put out a couple more, but we'll see. Otherwise, I also have my Hollow Emblem series going right now that you guys, if you guys are fans of Advanced Wars and Fire Emblem, you guys are probably maybe interested in that. And then even if you have no idea who Hololive is, you guys can follow along with the game. It is straight up Fire Emblem to its maximum, and with additions, and it's pretty cool. So go check it out. And we are also doing my brother versus brother competition for Halo 4 at this moment, so go check those videos out if you haven't already. And yeah, hockey is getting back into, you know, the regular season starting in October, so we'll see plenty of hockey coming in as well. I'm not sure if I'll do a lot of videos on those, but we'll see. But that's it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.